the tape for this, our main event of the evening. We introduce the champion, Chris, the West Side Strangler Brennan. Let's get it on!
Hey guys, we're back to recap the UFC 286 in London, England.
Yes, sir.
Great card, good fights.
It did not go the way I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, some of it I forget what I got right or wrong on the predictions, but I think I was close on some things that may have gone the other way, but I gave the option of if they do this.
Yeah.
One guy surprised me, and we'll get to him in a minute.
Gunnar Nelson and Brian Barberena.
Didn't surprise me at all.
This went, I think, exactly the way you said it was going to go. Did it go faster than you thought it was going to go?
Yeah, he didn't play on the feet at all. He kind of did what Luke did his last fight, where we had a striking game plan, and literally right before we walked out, I said, don't mess around the feet. I said, just get the takedown right away. And he went out there in 14 seconds. He had a single leg and against the fence, and it was a wrap. He did the same thing. I was expecting more striking because he is a good striker, not on the level of Brian Barberena, but good striker. And he came right out and he threw something. Barberena threw something, was on him, and the second he was on him, it was. I think it took till. Did it take till close to the end of the first round?
Really
like
close.
Within seconds, right?
9 seconds.
Yeah,
They were
that's
just
what I
clapping
thought.
the.
But he just controlled him completely on the ground. He was setting up the arm triangle for a long time.
Yep.
And then he ended up rear naked choking him?
No, armbar.
Oh, yes.
Armbar.
So he did something that I like to do, and he had Barberena kind of turning one way, and so he started attacking this arm, which made him turn this arm to reach for it.
Yeah.
And he just sat back straight for the arm bar. It was nice.
Yep.
It was actually a really nice arm bar from the mount. You don't typically see arm bars from the mount except for in the intro class at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Hands on the chest,
Yep.
Pivot to the side, arm bar.
That's happened to me once or twice.
So yeah, it was good. Clean win for him. 0 damage.
Performance of the night. It was great to see Gunnar get that.
Is that what he got?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Good for him. You know, and I think that probably speaks a little bit to what he was able to do against a solid opponent. Barberena is a great opponent.
He is a great opponent, but it was tailor-made. Like I said, there's a clear striker grappler, and you know my thoughts on the striker versus the grappler.
I do. Short fight. Not a lot to say about that one.
Yep. Happy for him. Good for him.
Gaethje Fiziev. This got fight of the night, and I don't know
As well as it should have.
Yeah, I don't know that there's any other fight that could have gone.
Yeah.
I think this went exactly how we thought it was going to go, except for the result.
Yeah. So Gaethje impressed me.
Yeah.
Fiziev, he's a stud. He threw very straight stuff. Gaethje later in the fight started landing his jab really, really clean, really well. And it was getting Rafael to overextend on something, and then Gaethje was landing the uppercut clean. And he did it 2 or 3 times. I was like, hey, stop throwing that combo. You got to see the uppercuts there. Threw it again. Uppercut was there. Threw it again. Uppercut was there. I was like, man, he can't take too many of those. But Gaethje looked good. He started off, he has great calf kicks.
Yeah.
And he started off from a distance and almost ran, like it took a 2-step, almost 3-step, boom, and chopped into the calf. And it was right away. I was
nasty.
like, oh man. I was like, I think technically Fiziev was supposed to be the better striker, but that instantly made him concerned about that leg kick.
Yeah. I was really impressed. Going into this, I was really high on Fiziev, really high. I still am. I still think that
honestly, I didn't know what way the judge's decision was going to go.
Yeah.
Just because I thought he had done I might have had him ahead, and I could be wrong on the judging, but I kind of had him ahead going into the third round or tie going into the third round. Might have had him losing. I don't remember, but the damage on the eye I knew was going to be the big thing for them. But I was telling my guys I would rather take that superficial damage that he took than the internal damage that Gaethje has taken over his last 5 fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this fight was one of them. He ate everything hard, no damage on his face, looked unscathed, but it's doing damage. I was very happy to hear him say, I'm going to make one more run at the title, but you're not going to see me here too much longer. And I'll say, thank goodness,
and
I wonder if that's because when he's eating breakfast, he drools or something, like he's going to have, these things are going to happen to him for fighting like that.
Yeah.
And I just want him to be okay.
Do you know how many fights Gaethje has left on his contract? I don't. I just wondered what he's got left.
It doesn't matter. It's going to be, whatever run they give him, he'll re-sign for that many fights to, if it takes 2 to get back, 3 to get back.
Yeah.
I doubt 3. Maybe 3. What was he, 3? Number 3?
I think that's right. Let me double check. The combos that Fiziev was throwing were nasty.
Oh yeah.
His hand speed and the fury of combos going high and low at the same time. It was punch kick or kick punch kick sometimes. I mean, you never knew where it was coming from, and it was so fast. Fiziev is so fast.
Yeah, very, very fast.
I was super impressed with it. Let's look at the rankings here. Gaethje did come in ranked number 3.
Okay,
that's right.
And he was what, 7?
6.
6.
Yep.
Yeah, so he won't go too far back. He might only go to 4, maybe 5. But it's going to take 2 fights to get him.
Well, wait. Gaethje wouldn't go back at all because he won, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he should only have maybe 1 fight. I'm sorry. He should only have 1 fight before he's fighting for the belt. And I don't know who it would be against. And he could possibly sit and wait for that shot.
Yeah.
Who's the champion?
Makhachev.
Makhachev.
And then you got, it's Oliveira and Poirier above him.
I would love to see him fight Makhachev only because his takedown defense would be good. So his striking would be interesting to see that fight happen. He would finally get to use his wrestling.
Well, you say that. It was something interesting. I don't know if you caught this.
I got my 1 takedown. F you.
His only takedown ever in the UFC happened, and I think it was really.
Was that really his only takedown ever?
It's my understanding that's his first takedown ever in a UFC fight.
Wow.
And it was toward the end of the fight, if I remember right. It was really close to the end.
Gotcha.
So if we look at the scorecards on this, it ended up being, I believe, a split decision, right?
Okay. So I wasn't crazy. I did have him. I thought he was going to win, Fiziev.
So I'm looking at the scorecards here. So
is there one drunk judge that gave a 30-27?
No.
That happened on one fight the other night.
Paul Sutherland gave a 10-8 to Gaethje.
Oh yes.
In round 3, but gave Fiziev rounds 1 and 2, which gives you a 28-28.
Yeah. So you can't give that round a 10-8. He did damage, but he was throwing back. He was punching back. He didn't get knocked down.
Yeah.
He was still landing punches back and made it a competitive round. So it was that was a dumb score to give on that 3rd round.
And it's super interesting because not one round was scored unanimously across all 3 scorecards.
Really?
The closest you're going to get, I guess, everybody gave round 3 to Gaethje.
But one was a 10-8.
But one of them was a 10-8. The others were 10-9s. Both rounds 1 and round 2, there's no...
Split back and forth?
Yeah. There's no consistency at all on that, which goes back to what you've been saying for
Everyone's
number of
watching a
podcasts
different fight.
Yeah. Did you learn more about Gaethje? I mean, it's hard to say that because this is like his 26th fight.
Yeah. And I said I didn't like him when he first came on the scene. I like him a lot now. I like to watch him fight. I like to listen to him talk afterwards now.
Yep.
I like a lot of the things he's got going on outside the octagon. But he yes and no. I mean, he's better than I thought.
Yeah.
I just wish he'd take less damage. I wish everyone would take less damage.
Yeah.
Right? I'm wishing the best for everyone.
What did you think of the call out on Bisping afterwards? Did you think that was Gaethje called out Bisping basically saying, look, I don't think you should have commentators that are friends of fighters in there. And I think it was more of a nod toward the Usman fight. Maybe you must not have caught it.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it was super interesting, and what made me really respect Gaethje afterwards is he's like, yeah, I don't think you should be doing. I wasn't a fan of that, and then the follow-up question was, well, do you think they should be setting, change stuff? He's like, it's not in my control,
Right,
and he just
right.
left it there. That's not my lane, and then he left it there. And
That's good.
I thought it was, for how much damage he's taken, I thought that was a very poised and a smart answer.
He still talks normal.
Yeah.
He still talks fine. So he has taken a lot of damage. I don't know if it's showing in other places, in his life, when he's at home, when he's whatever, but you have to think with that many fights like that your brain is, it's going to react, after a while. So, but he does talk normal.
Fiziev comes in at 6. Below him's Gamrot, RDA, Armand. I'm going to screw up this, guys. Sirkion. So I'm just looking behind him. Do you think Fiziev drops based off of the performance that he gave?
I don't think so. I don't think it hurts him at all.
I mean, he lost a close fight to the 3rd-ranked fighter.
Right.
He was the 6th-ranked fighter. I think he handled himself well in the cage.
Yeah. I don't think that drops him at
I
all.
don't think that changes anything.
Who did Gamrot just fight? Do you remember? We just talked about him.
I don't, but I can probably. Do you want me to try and look
biggie.
it up real quick? I don't remember who he fought. What are you thinking?
Oh, I don't know. He lost to Benil Darush, and then he just beat somebody. I think.
There he is. Pulling it up. Jalen Turner. Yeah.
He lost, right?
No, he won.
Oh, he won. Okay.
Gamrot beat Jalen Turner.
And he's
that was,
what number now?
Gamrot,
6,
yeah,
7?
was right below him, I believe. So, yeah, Gamrot's right below Fiziev at 7.
Okay.
But these rankings are after that. I mean, so maybe he jumps up 1. But these
This
rankings,
hasn't come, these rankings aren't since this fight this weekend.
correct, but they are since the fight where
Right.
Gamrot won.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Rafael Fiziev.
I'm still high on him. I still
Yeah,
think
yeah,
he's got.
Like I said, it doesn't hurt him at all. He showed that he's still amazing. His technique is amazing. He's so fast, and Gaethje just showed that Gaethje has a lot of experience. He's fought the top guys, like I said. He has the experience, and they're fighting the better guys for sure, and been at war already.
Well, and Gaethje, I thought, paid him a huge compliment afterwards. Somebody was asking, what do you think of Fiziev? Do you think he's got a chance? And he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, we're cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's a huge compliment coming from someone like Gaethje.
For sure.
He's like, he's got the mindset. He's got the training.
He said he's
got the
dangerous.
skills.
He's a dangerous man.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a phenomenal fight.
Yeah.
It did not go the way. I'll be honest. I like Gaethje. I kind of wanted to see Fiziev win.
Sure.
Because I kind of wanted to see that next that.
I thought if
guy.
it went that way, he was good. That
Yeah.
Fiziev was going to win, and then if Gaethje wrestled, he would win, and he showed me, he's going to win anyway.
That's incredible. All right,
Main event.
main events. Usman and Edwards 3. First question, going to the decision, what did you think was going to happen?
Honestly, I thought
Yeah.
Usman was going to win.
You thought Kamaru was going to take the belt back going to the decision.
I
So,
did.
So you were surprised.
I wasn't super surprised, but I did have him winning. I did have him winning the fight, and again, I sometimes I have to rewatch fights because I tend to see the guy who I want to win winning.
Okay. Okay.
I was impressed. I wasn't impressed with him, to be honest. I thought he looked very slow,
Okay.
and not just because Leon Edwards looked fast. His shots were slow. His level changes were slow. He kind of just bent over and would grab the leg. The striking itself was definitely slower, but I just thought that Leon wasn't busy enough. I didn't feel like he was busy enough landing, throwing, significantly. He did eat a hard knee from Leon Edwards that rocked him a little bit.
Yep.
Other than that, I didn't see too much.
There was a big body kick early in the fight. I think it was in the first round that caught Usman in the body that he physically reacted. You saw him double over, and it took him a second to recover from that.
I remember that.
That was nasty.
What was the scorecard on that? Was it split also?
Yeah, I was going to pull that up. So 48-46 for Edwards.
Okay. Time out real fast. This is why I thought he won the fight, because they took a point from Leon Edwards.
Third round.
Grabbing the fence.
Hanging on the
so
fence.
He kneed him in the nuts. He grabbed the fence.
Yep.
He put his fingers in his glove and held his glove. And he eye gouged him one time, but as they were about to stop it, Usman waved him off and said, "I'm good," and kept going. So he had every foul you could hit in the fight, right? And so I thought once they took that point away, that it was at best for Leon Edwards going to be a draw.
Okay.
You know, because if Usman won that round, it's 10-8 round.
Yep.
He only has to win one more round for it to be a draw.
Yep.
And
that's how David Letherby saw it.
right, he had it a draw, right?
He did. He
48-48?
47-47.
47-47, sorry.
Giving Usman rounds 2 and 3. 3 obviously, and then round 2. The other two judges, Ben Cartledge and Chris Lee, scored at 48-46, which is interesting because basically that's saying, yeah, both of them said that Usman only won one round.
What round was that?
It differed.
Okay.
One of them gave it a 9-9 for the third round.
So that means he lost that round to them.
Yeah, so let me take that back. Round 4 is what Ben Cartledge gave to Usman, and then Chris Lee gave round 3 to Usman. The rest of them, they gave
Which round was the foul in?
Round 3.
3. And so whoever gave that a 9-9 means they gave that round to Leon Edwards, and although they took a point, it made it a draw round.
Correct.
Yeah, I believe that's why I thought for sure at that point he was going to lose a fight or, best case, a draw. And it ended up going I didn't agree with those scorecards at all. Basically one round to Kamaru Usman. I didn't see it like that.
Yeah. Were you surprised? It didn't seem like Usman was working on, and I can go back and look. Were you surprised that Usman was content to be on his feet as much as he was?
Yeah, and I know guys don't like to come out with excuses afterwards. I'm waiting for his.
Okay.
I'm waiting for his injury excuse because his wrestling wasn't good, and he was shooting strangely. He wasn't fighting hard to get it.
Yep.
He wasn't fighting hard to get his hands together on the double leg and he wasn't switching to single legs when he was getting pulled up. It was just real weird. And from an outside perspective, I'm coaching him, thinking, "Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this?" And he's a better wrestler than me, but he, as a coach, he was not. He wasn't getting it done. And again, not taking away from Leon Edwards, his takedown defense was great, but it was great because Usman didn't wrestle the way he wrestles.
Total ground time control for Usman. I think he had 5 minutes of ground time. I've got it up right here. I think it was 5 minutes and 3 seconds. They said of ground control time. Excuse me. Leon did win the overall strike total, 123 versus 113.
So even that was close. 10 strikes.
Significant strikes was 120 to 87.
Okay.
So that the statistic that surprised me the most, honestly, was the takedown efficiency of Kamaru Usman. He was 4 of 15 is what they officially scored.
They gave him 4?
They gave him 4.
Okay.
But I didn't see 15 takedown attempts in that fight. So I don't know.
I think anytime he was against the fence and got on something and got pulled up, that's an attempt. The fence grab was terrible. Like, I watched it happen before it happened. I'm like, don't grab the fence. And he yanks on him, and he just, like, pulled with both hands. One came off and still had with the other one.
Yeah.
And, at that point, I know it's not fair. Well, it's not fair either to grab the fence, but I would be like, do you want to, A, have a point taken from him, or B, start on the ground. Because that was he 100% stopped the takedown.
Absolutely.
So do you want to start on the ground in the position where you would have ended up pulling from there? I guess you can't predict what position that would have been, but do you want to start on the ground, or do you want the point taken away?
Why was there such a long discussion with blanking on the ref, Herb? Why did Herb take so long to get the point? Any idea what was happening there?
Well, he was watching the replay.
Got it.
To
Okay.
see if he grabbed the fence or if it was, deliberate, and it wasn't. 100% was.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think maybe he had to refresh on what the rule was, because I believe Usman wanted to go to the ground. He was like, that stopped the takedown. And it did. So kind of a bummer. Like, it's already hard enough to take people down, but now they're holding on to the fence as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it kind of defeats the purpose of it. I was happy they took a point right off the bat. That was so blatant that there was no warning. That was it.
You talked a lot about pound for pound status. You talked a lot about GSP and why he's up there. And to me, I mean, I think I even asked this. If Usman loses this, he's like, yeah, then he's for sure not the greatest welterweight.
True. And he's one of the greatest welterweights.
Sure.
For sure. He already had a crazy run in the division with no interruptions like GSP had, Matt Hughes early on, and then went on a run, then had Matt Serra. He was bad with Matts, and then went on a run after that again. So, and then won the second belt. I forgot when we said that he had won the middleweight title as well. So he's a 2-division champ, and was, had the runs against the guys that he had.
Yeah.
Man, he is my greatest of all time guy for sure.
I'm just looking at this fight streak, and I'd have to go back and count. But what he did what Usman did in the UFC, he went on a tear.
16.
It's something like that. I mean, it's and his second fight in the UFC was against Leon Edwards.
Oh, that's right.
Back in 2015. So
yeah.
Did you find it interesting, Leon Edwards' comments about his next opponent? I don't know if you heard. Covington was like, I want him.
Right.
And Edwards was like, you haven't done anything.
Right.
I want to fight Jorge. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Why would Jorge?
The reason he wants to fight him is because Masvidal punched him in the face 3 times backstage after that one interview.
Got it. Yeah.
And they've had beef ever since. However, he's on a 3-fight skid. There's no way he fights for the belt. No way he fights for the belt.
I would hope not.
No, they can't do that.
So who do you think queues up next?
The press conference, Dana said it's Colby.
Okay. Well,
And Dana loves him some Colby.
I'm sure Chimaev would like a word.
Yeah, he's up there as well.
So yeah, it's as of
No one wants to fight that guy.
no, yeah. Before the new rankings haven't come out yet, but Usman was 1, Covington, and then Hamzat is number 3, with Bilal Muhammad and Gilbert Burns following after that. So I don't know where Usman drops after this, but it'll be interesting what Colby does, because, and you mentioned this a while back, Colby's in the middle of some outside the cage drama right now
with Masvidal, so that'd be really dumb for them to fight each other right now.
Right, but you postulated that maybe Covington wouldn't get back in the cage because that would hurt his chances on what's happening outside the cage.
Right, but apparently he is.
Litigation, so maybe he's going to let that go.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be nice. It's a good weekend of fights, man.
Yes, we'll be back in a day or two with Bellator for next week.
Yeah.
Since I'm leaving town, and I'm gonna see if I can get a short cameo from Luke while we do that one.
That would be amazing.
I'm gonna see if I can do that on that. See what we can get out of him.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you guys. We'll see you in a couple days.
It is all over, just like that.